Yeah, look at that. We're gonna walk down to the mailbox, way down there in distance, about 3 telephone poles away, backwards. Backwards, yes. So we can go ahead and get in our backwards exercise. We have that so we can keep our brain improving in time. And so the idea behind this is to be able to walk backwards, of course, without looking backwards. Because you want to go ahead and exercise the brain. And of course, the better pace you keep, the better you are. So as long as there's not a car coming up behind you, running you over, you're going to be fine. Now, while I'm doing this, I might as well talk about a few things. It's floods and rebuilding. How many people are going to want to rebuild using materials, windows, doors, parts of pieces out of the homes, the vintage elements that make them historical? I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of window sashes, units, doors, trim, all the things it would take to rebuild in the original fabric, building materials, from a fabric from which you weave a home. A home is where the heart is. A home is where you create a dream that you can stay with maybe for the rest of your life, if you're lucky. Not all of us are. Some of us have to leave our homes behind and move on for one reason or another. In this case, flooding. It's been really bad. A lot of people in Texas, well, their homes are shot, toast for the moment. Look at that, little bumps in the road. Those are the kind of things, right? When you're going backwards, toys, you might get tripped up. So, you gotta keep your eye and your third eye behind you open all the time. So as we're walking backwards down the street, down to the mailbox, which is still way ahead of us, down to the home I lived in for 11 years, no, more than that, 14 years. So I know what it's like to lose a home. 24 hours notice. I was lucky I had 24 hours notice. People in the Hill Country didn't have 24 hours of notice. They were slammed. No justice to it. No polite warning. No bell goes off, says, hey, 3 days warning, 2 days warning, 1 day warning, you're about to lose your home. No. 28 inches of rain in 3 days. Hard to imagine, but it just happened. So what can I do at a distance like this? I'm over in Luling on the other side, up on the hilltop. San Marcos River, right below me. Now there's a wave coming. It's going to get to San Marcos River sooner or later. It all dumps into the rivers and then dumps into the Gulf of Mexico. Along the way, it spreads out and goes up and down, creates waves. Where the valleys go deep, the waves go higher if the volume is big enough. It turns out a bunch of stuff, knocks it all down, destroys it. And all the trees and all the debris, all the mud, destroys it. At least all I had to do is move out in 24 hours notice. It's a bitch, but guess what? Compared to flooding, I'm grateful. Grateful, grateful, grateful. I mean, there's very few things in life that you can be more grateful for than life. The life of your loved ones, the life of your pets, the life of your children, your business, your town, all these different things. Got to the mailbox, and it is junk mail, nothing more. Let's walk to the gate. It's 4 minutes into it. 4 minutes of backwards walking. And you want to do this if you can to exercise your brain. Now the talking part, talking and walking, oh my gosh. A lot of people are going to try to dare that the first time. Or walk together, one person walk forward, one person walk backwards. And now you can say, hey, look out, you're about to get run over. Look out, there's a dog coming at you, bite you. Then you swap. You walk forward, they walk backwards. Get a couple miles in, half mile in at least. The faster you walk, what you do on treadmill. Trinity does on treadmill. The faster you walk, the bigger the effect. Of course, you don't want to fall, crack your head, hurt yourself, get injured, and ruin the rest of your life in the process. So, first of all, try baby steps. Do it on the grass. Do it on an area where if you fall, you don't get hurt. Okay? See, because I could fall. I'm going downhill, and I know from memory, I've driven this thing. On that side right there, there's these big old holes, potholes. So if I step in a pothole, I got to be prepared. Yeah. So with that in mind, your heel has to adjust. That's why this is so important. Walking, there it is, right there, boom. That's why it's so important. Because it teaches your brain to compensate. To go ahead and work in reverse, to straighten up your posture, so that your brain works correctly. Look at that, Interstate Highway. And we're at 5 minutes. So, I'll see you later. Bye.